something literally nobody in the world expected. Minute 1. Cooper walks right out onto a bustling street in New York City. So today, we're looking at the device you're probably holding right now, or at least have somewhere within arm's reach, your cell phone. You might think it was born out of some noble pursuit to connect humanity, or this grand idealistic vision for technological harmony. But actually, it has a shockingly petty origin story. Because this phone was not built simply to make calls. It was built to humiliate someone. That's right. The very foundation of our modern, hyper-connected world wasn't just about communication. It was about striking a massive, undeniable blow against a bitter corporate rival.
Section 1. Goliath versus the Underdog, the 1973 telecom race.
Picture it. It's 1973, and two companies are in this massive race. And the battle, well, it was incredibly lopsided. On one side, you've got Bell Labs, the absolute biggest telecom giant in America. And they were winning. They had unlimited money, top-tier research facilities, and massive government backing. Then, on the other side, you have Motorola. Compared to the Goliath that was Bell Labs, Motorola had almost nothing. I mean, they were the definitive, scrappy underdog.
But Motorola had a secret weapon. Enter the underdog engineer, Martin Cooper. Cooper looked at that massive resource gap, the bottomless funding, the government backing of his rivals, and he essentially decided to just ignore it completely. He was determined to end this race, and he wanted to do it in the absolutely most savage way possible.
Section 2. Anatomy of a brick, building the impossible.
So, to fight a corporate war, you need a weapon, right? And the weapon Cooper's engineering team built was just absurd. It weighed over 2 pounds, it was almost 10 inches long, and honestly, it looked significantly more like a literal brick than any phone we'd recognize today. Just think about the sleek glass smartphone you seamlessly slip into your pocket right now. This original machine was the absolute antithesis of that. Heavy, clunky, and just utterly massive. And the performance? Oh, even better. Talk time was a whopping 25 minutes. Charge time? 10 grueling hours. You heard that right. You'd plug this thing into a wall for nearly half a day just to get a 25-minute phone call. It wasn't practical in the slightest. It wasn't pretty. But you know what? That absolutely did not matter to Martin Cooper or his team.
Section 3. The Savage First Call. April 3, 1973.
Armed with his brick phone, Cooper is about to do something literally nobody in the world expected. Minute 1. Cooper walks right out onto a bustling street in New York City. Minute 2. He pulls out this massive device for all the world to see. Minute 3. He dials a number. Now, you or I might call the spouse or maybe our boss to celebrate a breakthrough like this, but Cooper deliberately avoided calling them. Instead, he had a very specific target in mind. He called his rival. He dialed the direct number of the head of research at Bell Labs. He called the very man leading the heavily funded, government-backed Goliath project that was supposedly crushing Motorola. The man at Bell Labs picks up the phone, and Cooper utters these legendary words. Guess where I'm calling you from? A cellular phone, a real one, handheld, portable. Just let the weight of that settle for a second. Imagine being on the receiving end of that call. The response was pure silence on the other end of the line, just an agonizing, devastating silence. Bell Labs had spent years and millions upon millions of dollars developing this cellular technology, but Motorola got there first, with a real, working, portable device actually operating in someone's hand on a New York City street.
Section 4. Crossing the finish line, the true cost of innovation.
The aftermath of that brutal phone call ripples all the way into our present day. Because this wasn't just a corporate prank, it was a profound shift in technological history. Now, this brick phone, which literally couldn't even fit in an ordinary pocket, cost about $4,000 back in 1973. Adjusted for inflation, you're looking at nearly $10,000 today for a single device.
But despite its massive price tag and despite its massive size, it changed the world more than any sleek, powerful smartphone ever will. Why does this matter to you and me? Because every app you use, every text you send, every piece of information you consume on your morning commute, it all rests securely on the unshakable foundation laid by this hilariously petty, spiteful brick.
And this is the core takeaway from our explainer today. History doesn't remember who had the biggest budget. It doesn't care who had the government backing or the endless research grants or the fancy labs. History remembers who crossed the finish line first. Martin Cooper proved that sheer determination, speed, and yeah, maybe a little bit of spite will always trump endless resources.
Which brings us to the future. As we look out at today's landscape of corporate giants with their endless billions, the modern-day Bell Labs, we have to ask, who will cross the finish line first in the next great tech race? What scrappy underdog is out there right now building their own version of a 2-pound brick, just waiting to humiliate a giant tomorrow? Definitely something to think about next time you pick up your phone. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your eyes peeled for the next Goliath to fall.